It's time for me to do a ranking video on all the RPGs I've played. I'm Scott.
I'm Jen.
We're Retro Rivals, and this is the time where I'm gonna. This is the video I've been dreading, because I have to rank all the RPGs I've played in the last almost 3 years. Has it been 3-ish years?
Not quite. You started
since I first jumped into the genre.
Yeah, you really started. You dipped your toe in 2022 towards the end of the year, and you're like, oh my god, maybe I do like RPGs. And so it's mostly turn-based. There are a few tactics, and there's a few action.
Yep.
But most of them are turn-based. We wanted to wait till you had 20.
I have 21.
Because that seems substantial.
21.
He has 21. So you played 21.
Yep.
Or at 20. You realistically played 20 RPGs in the last not quite 3 years.
Yeah.
Because one of them you played way back when. But you did play it again recently.
Yeah. Oh, so, I have, yeah.
Yeah. I just... people on the channel, the viewers, our friends on YouTube were asking you to make this after I made my horror one.
So, Jen did her horror one. She had like a pumpkin.
I
have a top hat because it's magic. I don't know.
A magician has pulls a rabbit.
Lots of magic in RPGs.
Yeah. We're not going to pull rabbits out of here, just the games.
They're all folded up, so I don't know which one she's going to bring out.
Yeah.
In what order, but yeah.
It's just fun, like this.
It's fun, I guess.
We thought about doing the actual games and doing it that way, but the problem is...
They wouldn't all fit in the hat.
They wouldn't all fit in the hat, and a few of them you don't have physically.
Possibly just one.
Just the one?
Just
okay.
one I didn't have, yeah.
All right, you ready?
First one.
First one. I grabbed a bunch of them. Oh! Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Ooh. I'm very
Chrono
excited.
Trigger. I think it was the first RPG I played on the SNES.
Yeah.
I was a Genesis boy growing up. Only got the SNES later on in life. Chrono Trigger is... If anybody knows me, I love time travel stuff. And this was probably my third or fourth RPG I played at that point. So I had a couple of them under my belt. And I was getting into that genre. So the fact that I had that time travel and the pixel graphics are awesome.
The music
is fantastic. I love the story because of the time travel aspect of it. And there's a couple things that just...
Okay, I'll put it right here.
You don't get the guess.
I was just making a guess because it was fun.
My rankings are going to go by how much I enjoyed the game.
As any should.
Not by what I... You know, there's going to be games in here that you're going to love, and you're saying, there's no way that's a B ranking game. But if I didn't enjoy it quite as much as you, this is my level of enjoyment ranking.
Yeah.
So Chrono Trigger, level of enjoyment ranking.
Oh, dang. I was back and forth. I was like, it's going to be an A.
It would be an A plus there, but awful
well, you're going to, at the end, we're going to rank them all in order, which is, you're going to hate, but we're going to do it. So we're going to find out what his number one is, which I've been asking him for a while, but he hasn't been able to tell me. So, next game. Sea of Stars, a newer game.
No, it's not a newer game.
Oh,
yes, sorry. Sea of Stars, I was thinking of Star Ocean.
Spoiler alert. Sea of
Stars. Yeah, I played it on the PS4. Really cool. Easy for beginners to get into. There are 2 different endings. I would highly suggest playing to get the true ending, which is the second ending. Yeah. Although you're going to have to go on a bit of a fetch quest. There's a bunch of stuff you have to collect in order to get that ending. Gameplay's fantastic. It has that timing. There's a timing to the... I don't know what it's called exactly, but when the enemies attack you, you have to hit your button to time it correctly.
Like a quick time
it's a
almost.
the counter, so you don't get as much damage hit against you. I really enjoyed the story. I loved the pixel art. The music was really good, except for the last battle. Usually when you hit an RPG and that final boss
you
battle,
want it to
that
be
music
epic.
is epic, and I found it was just a little bit flat. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the only critique I have about the entire game.
Yeah.
Not quite an S, but it is definitely an A.
Yeah, I kind of thought that's where you might put that. All right, next game. Final Fantasy 2. I don't want to hear about how it's different here. I don't. Just get past that part and do what you gotta do.
Okay, so this is actual fun. This is not North American Final Fantasy 2. This is the Final Fantasy 2. I played it on the Pixel Remaster on the Switch.
Yeah.
It was okay. My biggest gripe with this entire game was that there's a certain sword you got to get for this. It's called the Blood Sword. And Dennis had played it a few years back. He sold his Blood Sword, which he basically couldn't finish the game at that point. I had the Blood Sword and was lucky enough that I didn't sell it. And I don't know how I wouldn't have been able to beat the last boss without the Blood Sword. But I found, because I had the Blood Sword, I could not lose the boss battle.
Yeah.
So it was...
You want some
weird.
challenge.
There was zero challenge to the last boss because every attack I did with it healed that guy. I stuck him up in front, so he was taking all the damage.
But it was healing him.
Well, I was healing at the same time, and it was,
I don't understand why a game would let you sell an item.
Oh, I've had in the comments. People have told me in the comments, you can beat the game, and I'm sure you can beat the game without the Blood Sword.
It's just
that's what happened to me at the time. Dennis did not finish the game. You know how I said there might not be a D ranking in this?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna put it as C.
That's just to give you a little bit of like. Okay. As the more I talk, I still hear my cold coming through a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's go with the next one. I've been waiting for this one because this will be where the hatred comes through.
Oh.
Earthbound. You knew that's what I was gonna say.
Earthbound. Just played it last year.
Yeah.
I played it in 2024. Played it towards the end of the year. Started off, like, it's got its good things about it. It's quirky. It's different. I like the graphics. Really enjoyed the graphics.
Oh, the graphics are beautiful.
Music, pretty average for me. I'm gonna be 47 by the time you guys see this video.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit as hard for a 40-something-year-old as it would if you played it back when you were like 10 or 12 or something, maybe. I don't know. I found the battle mechanics got repetitive and old fast. There wasn't a whole lot of anything to the story that really grabbed my attention a lot.
Yeah.
I do see why people loved it because it was so different. For me at my age, it got old fast.
Yeah.
I am going to give it a B.
A B. Okay, so not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No. It's still, I still had fun with it for the most of it.
Yeah.
It ran its course fast, and I was just wanting to be done at the end of it.
Yeah. All right. Next game. We have, a newer one. Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord. Played this last year.
Yeah.
Probably the most addictive game I've played in a long
time.
Long damn time. The music is pretty fantastic. It is a tactics style game with auto battles. So you're basically building each little
army.
Kind of army. You can put upwards, I think it was 5 in a group.
Okay.
You have to build up to that.
Yeah.
It's deep. It is so deep. Like, there's so many different weapons and things you can attach, and, like, one party member could have something that basically gives buffs to everybody else. I picked this game for Dennis to play because he loves tinkering with stuff like that.
So much.
The story's really cool, but I was watching every battle up until like the 40-hour mark, and I was like, if I don't stop watching every single battle, this is going to be over 100 hours, and I still put close to 70 hours in?
Yeah, it was a lot. I
loved it from start to finish.
Yep.
Gonna put it as an S.
I expected that because Scott's not somebody who will find time to play a game.
I was all over that. I could not stop playing it.
Nope, you couldn't.
Hooked.
You were hooked. Yep. That's great. I love when a game gets you like that. A game I got Scott to play. I played this one first. Kudelka.
PS1 tactics, kind of survival horror themed.
Yeah.
This is the first of the Shadow Heart series.
Yes, it is.
I was worried when I jumped into it if I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
Ended up loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
You did better at it than I did.
There's secrets to this game, like
the lore in it is really
the lore
rich.
is really the music is really cool.
Yeah.
I was hooked on it. It was really cool. Remember you struggled.
I did.
You had a hard time with it.
I did.
I absolutely smashed it.
But
smashed it.
By the time I had played that game, I think it was only my second. Well, this is a tactic.
Yeah.
A tactic with mostly tactic.
Yeah.
I had that's the first one I had played in my second turn-based or tactic RPG, so that's why I struggled. I didn't realize. Now I do. Now I'm much.
Now you see.
Yeah.
Anyway, because it's a PS1 game, those graphics have aged.
Oh yes.
Doesn't bother me.
No, me neither.
I loved everything else about it. Like loved it. So much so that I'm gonna put it in the A ranking.
Nice.
Yeah, it's right up there.
That's awesome. It's a great game. It's a pricey one though, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, needs a remake. Newer one again. One we played 3-player. Trinity Trigger. Potentially we ruined it for Scott. Let's find out.
Trinity Trigger. Dennis loved this game.
He did.
Loved it. You enjoyed it quite a bit.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I think you and I were more on the same wavelength.
I liked it. And
Yeah.
that's about it. It was fun because the three of us played it.
Yes.
Action RPG. You had different weapons and stuff. Like the graphics were pretty damn good, but I don't remember anything memorable about the music.
Some of the side quests kind of killed it for us because we were trying to do everything. When we get together and play a game, we like to complete everything just because we're not doing trophies, but we're trying to open the map up completely.
Yeah.
Some of them were just impossible for us to do, and I think that took a point off the game. You know what I mean? Like it knocked it down a peg.
Like Dennis would play this again in a heartbeat.
He would.
We've talked about this recently.
Yeah.
Whatever. I would not have played through this all the way if it was just me.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have made it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because you guys didn't want to get into the story. Wouldn't let me read anything.
I'm
couldn't
much
tell
better.
you. We put how many hours into that game? Couldn't tell you anything about the
No.
story.
I was
Nothing.
like, story doesn't
Zero.
matter. Let's keep going.
Zero. I don't know anything about the story.
I'm much better though now because
Now,
I played
yeah.
a few more RPGs.
But because we played it co-op, that's the only reason I enjoyed it. That's the only reason it's getting a B from me.
Yeah.
If not, it could be way down there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I would have finished it. I don't know. And maybe I would have enjoyed it more by myself.
Maybe.
I couldn't get in. Couldn't tell you anything but the story.
Okay, next one. Oh, yes. Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve for a long damn time was my #1 game all time.
All time.
Because this game you hear people saying it all the time. This is the game that got me back into gaming.
Yeah.
Well, I think I played this somewhere around 2001, 2002.
That makes sense.
Bought it in the
Walmart discount.
Yeah, I bought it for like $10 and it was the greatest hits copy. Started playing it. I think it's because you had bought me a PS2 for Christmas.
Yeah, I bought him a
So
lot
I
of
went-
his consoles for
Yeah.
Christmas, and I didn't even game, but I knew he wanted them.
So this isn't really turn-based. It's kind of got a weird mechanic that the enemies come out. It's kind of actiony at that point until I decide I'm gonna attack, and you have to be so you'll hit your button, and then this bubble will come up,
kind of
a dome that comes
Yeah.
over. It's all see-through or whatever, but it gives you your range of the weapon that
Yeah.
you have for your
Yeah.
attack, and the closer you are, the more damage you're gonna do. This is more of a survival horror, cinematic RPG.
Yeah.
And more actiony than turn-based, I find. I loved it. I've played this game I would say probably 4 times all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and beat the Chrysler Building the next time I play it, because
Yeah.
I tried last time and I got stuck on the 50th floor.
Yeah.
I think most people wouldn't rank it as high as me, but this is a game I'm gonna continue to play over and over and over until the day I die.
Yes.
It's an S rank.
I assumed it was. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't play an RPG 4 times and have it not be an S ranking. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you've played
Yeah.
it that many times, you probably love it. And
Need a remake. Need a
we
remake.
bonded over it too.
Yes.
Like that was towards the first of our relationship, and it was fun. I got to sit down and watch. Albert Odyssey. This was the reason we couldn't
Ooh.
do them all physically. We do
Yes.
not have it physical.
Sega Saturn game.
Yes.
The only reason I was able to play it because a friend, another YouTuber, Denver Gamer sent me a gift. It was a modded Sega Saturn. So he got rid of the disc drive, and I play the game off of the SD card. So I can load whatever games I want on it.
Yeah.
Backups.
Yeah, his backups. He sent us all his backups of his backups.
Yeah. So I loved this game all the way up until the last dungeon.
Yeah.
I've never been more confused in a dungeon, get lost. So much so that I was like, okay, I need to do a walkthrough.
But you needed a walkthrough to be done. You needed me to sit in the room and walk you through it at the same time because
I was getting confused.
You were getting so turned around.
The problem with it was that there's so many random encounters.
Yeah.
That I think I'm going up on the screen. As soon as I go into a random encounter, it goes to another screen where you're doing your battles, and then when you come back, I'm like, I don't know if I was going up, left, right, or what. And I was getting so confused.
I just happened to be finishing a game in here.
I needed Jen.
I sat down with him.
Sit there with a walkthrough to get me through that maze.
And all with all told, I loved that part of it when I got to sit down with you and help you finish the game. I felt like I was part of it.
Great graphics.
Oh, beautiful.
Music's really good.
Yeah. The story was really good, too.
Story's really good.
Yeah.
Everything's really good. It's just the only thing that ruined it for me was that last dungeon.
But that made it challenging, at least.
I am stuck between these two right here.
Well, here's why
would I play it again? Probably not.
Well, there you go. That's how you know.
But I did enjoy it.
You did.
Overall, I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Lunar. Silver Star Story Complete.
That wouldn't fit on the PS1. Jen wouldn't take the time to type it all out.
No, it didn't fit on it.
Jen just finished this game. And I loved it so much I got her to make me a painting.
Yes, it's almost like it's 3/4 of the length of our door that goes into our retro room.
Like, there's so many good things about it. Like, can you think of something that's not good about it? The only critique that I would say is when you go into your battles, the sprites are so small. And that's the only critique I have.
Do you know what? I didn't even have a problem with that because sometimes when the sprites are too big on the screen, I was like, this doesn't look proportional.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But it was like the opposite with this. But that's a very minimal thing. Very minimal critique.
Amazing full motion cutscenes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Animated, like cartoons.
My God.
Beautiful. Music, beautiful.
Oh,
like some of the singing and stuff. And
so good.
Yeah.
Like, made me feel when I was playing it. Like, it just, like,
Oh, yeah.
That's what you don't get from any other genre.
Yep.
When you play an RPG and you're really invested, you feel what the characters are feeling. Like, you're just, this is why we play the game.
Do you remember the boss? Remember his name?
Oh.
Galactian?
Yeah. Galleon.
Sorry.
Galleon.
Galleon. Galleon's the only reason this is not an S rank.
Was it his voice?
No.
For me, it was his voice during the cutscenes.
He was just not ominous enough. He was just lacking something. Whereas, like, the best hero game or hero movie or hero anything is because the bad guy is epic.
Yeah.
You have to overcome the odds. I just didn't feel like the odds were that stacked against me, so I'm putting it as an A.
Do you know what would have made that a really good boss? That if the first dragon is a Dragon Master? I can't remember. I just
You just played it.
I literally just played it.
It's been a couple years for me.
Yeah, his name is Lake, but he's like... Lake. He's, but that's who he's known as now, but he was the first. That's who Alex is trying to be. But if he would have been the bad guy at the end, ooh, that would have been a twist.
Big plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that would rank for me, but I would be between an S and an A too. It would be very difficult. Cosmic Star Heroine.
Cosmic Star Heroine.
Yeah, shorter.
PS4, shorter experience, turn-based, great pixel, indie-style game.
Yeah.
Really cool music. Like, music really stands out in this game. Battle mechanics are fun. There's lots of variety. There's so many different things when it comes to building your teams. There's a bunch of different characters. You can only take a certain amount in a party.
Yeah.
And everybody has certain abilities, and then you can put different things on them. There's a lot to it for a short little game.
You love this so much, you wanted the other games they had created. Like
yeah,
This
the
Way
developers
Madness
of this
Live,
game, I went and grabbed a bunch of them.
Cthulhu Saves
Yep.
Christmas.
It is, because it's so short, when I start comparing it against other games
Yeah.
in these lists, like, what was it? It wasn't 20 hours. There's no way that was a 20 hour game.
It definitely wasn't.
I feel like it was like
more than around there.
I feel like it was like 12-hour game.
Maybe.
Really good for 12-hour game. If it had been longer, it would have made it an A ranking. But when I compare it to other games here, it's probably a B.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense because you're more invested because you've spent more time.
Yeah, you get really attached to characters.
You do.
There, yeah.
All right. South Park, and I had to like put the little part on the side here. Fractured but whole.
Fractured Butthole. So there's 2 different South Park games. This is the second one.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually 3. Nobody cared about the third one there.
Snow Day.
No, Snow Day's, I guess, is terrible. I haven't played it, so I don't have an opinion. But
Yeah.
Fractured Butthole, they leaned into the superhero universe,
Yes.
Marvel, DC, but
Yeah.
they created their own one. So you had
The Coon.
Coon and Friends, and then I can't remember the DC version.
Nobody
guys.
cared because it was DC.
Can't remember. Anyway, they switched up the battle mechanics, so it's more of a tactics battle,
Yeah.
which I found slowed the game down too much. If it wasn't for that, everything else is pretty fun. But
Yeah.
it just doesn't hold a candle to the first one.
It doesn't hit as hard the second time around either.
No.
That humor gets you the first time. The second time,
Maybe.
You already
Still
know
worth
what
playing.
to expect.
Still worth playing.
Yeah.
Just falls a little bit short. I'm gonna go with
Oh,
there.
that's so nice of you.
I was leaning C, but
I saw you leaning.
I was really leaning there.
I saw you leaning.
Yeah.
All right, next, Ease Origin.
Ys Origin. That is
Yeah.
action RPG.
Yeah.
Played it on the PS4, I do believe, or was
Yeah.
it PS5 game?
I think it's PS4.
I think it's PS4 game.
Yeah.
Hack and slash. Really cool. Boss battles are really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you get stuck in a boss battle, you just back out, go down a floor or two, and grind.
Grind a little bit.
Maybe
come back.
a level or two, and come back, and you'll whip that boss's butt.
Yep.
Really good music.
You're in a castle
Fun.
the entire time.
It's a tower.
Yeah, yeah.
And
a
you're
tower
climbing the tower the entire time. Really good game. There's nothing bad about it. There's 2 characters you can play as, and if you play through
both of those,
you can get a third character.
Yeah.
Dennis is telling me because he played it through twice and
Back to
almost
back.
almost played it the third time. I
Yeah.
just played it the once. I'm gonna put it at A.
Yeah.
A.
Now, we were surprised when Dennis played it because we assumed right off the bat the second guy is an archer, is he?
Magic wielder.
Magic
so
wielder.
He shoots stuff.
Yeah, so we assumed he would play that. I think the third one's an archer. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't remember.
But he
I
played
don't
the
know
one
what
you
third
had
one
played
was.
first, and we were
Yeah.
like, we were surprised.
I can't remember her name. It was the girl, and she has an axe, so it's all
Yeah.
hack and slash stuff there.
Yeah,
And
we
that's-
assumed he'd be a magic wielder because
Yeah.
usually when we play 3-player,
He said he didn't know what he was getting, so
Yeah.
he just picked. I
just
can't
picked-
remember her name. I can't
yeah,
remember
we
her
can
name.
pop it in there or whatever.
I won't.
All right.
You're editing this
Yes.
video, so you can put it.
All
in
right, next one, Final Fantasy,
The first
the
one.
first one.
Also played it on the Pixel remaster.
Yes.
I was quite pleasantly surprised
Mm-hmm.
at this game. I was not expecting much because I knew it was an NES game, but it was remastered over. It
Yeah.
looked really cool. I enjoyed the music. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed the gameplay. It maybe if I had played it on the NES, it would not done as well because there would have been a lot more grinding.
Yeah.
There are some mechanics in the game, this Pixel remaster, where you can up your experience by 2, 3, maybe even up to 4 times. So every
Yeah.
battle you have, you can get 4 times up to
Oh.
4 times the experience. So it really knocks out a lot of that grinding that you would need to finish the game. I don't remember a whole lot of the main boss battles, the main bad guy, anything like that. I just remember enjoying it there,
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised by it, but because I don't remember it, it's definitely better than the number 2, but it's probably a B.
Yeah. Okie dokie. We're getting to the last, under 10.
Under 10.
Under 10. Definitely under 10. Grandia.
This game is fantastic. I
Yeah.
remember enjoying my time through the whole game.
Yeah.
It definitely probably would have put more than 60 hours into this game.
Would that be something you think I would enjoy?
You would definitely
I'm
enjoy
already
it.
very...
If you enjoyed Lunar, I can't see why you wouldn't enjoy this.
Already very familiar with Justin because I sat down and painted that for Mondane. And I already feel like I'm invested where I could pop into the game and really enjoy it.
I loved everything about it. I love the characters. I love the whole, you're the hero, save the world kind of aspect of it. There's a lot of interest in there. There's everything. When I'm looking at between A and S, I'm like, is it better than Lunar? Maybe in certain aspects, but not really.
Yeah.
So as much as I loved it, it's going there.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you only have 2 S ranking, but you know what?
They're not all.
They should.
Amazing.
If it's an S rank game, it should be like a 9.5 and above.
Yeah, it's got to be a 10 out of 10.
Yes. South Park, Stick of Truth.
Now, this is the first South Park game that I played.
And I played it too.
I absolutely love this game. Yeah. The humor aside, like, because it's
Princess
fantastic.
Kenny.
The humor is fantastic. I love South Park, just the cartoon itself. But the battle mechanics were way funner than they were in the Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed this game so much. It's not an overly long game.
No.
But I would play this so many times over and over.
Oh my god!
It's going in the S tier.
That shocks me.
It was so perfect. There's not a darn thing I could change about that game.
Yeah. There really isn't anything I would change about it either. I laughed my butt off.
Oh, and so good.
I think I was playing in the retro room when you were playing it out here, and I had to come out to see what he was laughing about.
I was sick with a cold there, and I had to take 2 nights off work.
Yeah.
And I played through that in like, I think 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
And I just, oh my god, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is the one we almost forgot to add.
Oh.
Tales of Arise. I will be playing this at some point this year.
This is the one that Dennis recommended for you.
That's the one that Dennis recommended.
I love this game. Action RPG. Big kind of like save the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different elements to it.
I love the art style of it.
Art style is going to age beautifully. It's
Yes.
going to hang on forever, this game. The only thing that I wasn't crazy about, especially in like the later half of the game, the dialogue between the characters, they would just talk about nothing. They would just talk, and they just talk, and they talk. And then every time I say that, people say, well, yeah, it's a Tales game. So they do. But there was just that point where I was just like, oh my god, could you shut up?
Yeah, yeah.
and I hate skipping through stuff because you never know when you're going to miss a little detail.
That's right.
I did have to take 1 or 2 breaks. I think right around the 30-hour mark I took a break, then maybe around the 50 or 60-hour mark I took a break for a day or 2 because I was just, they were getting long-winded, but other than that, it's just A ranking all day long.
Yeah, I understand that. I am worried about those long dialogue cutscenes.
But you don't have to read it. It's all voice.
Oh.
All voice acting.
Okay, so I just play on my phone.
I think, if I remember correctly.
That's the part of the game where you check your emails.
I might not be remembering it correctly, but I think most of it is voice acting.
Okay. Star Ocean.
This is the first Star Ocean that was a Famicom game, or Super Famicom game, sorry. I got myself a reproduction copy with English translation for my Super Nintendo. Pretty fun action RPG. It just got old. It was... When it's going to either be a C or B, and I'm looking at my B rankings, and it's definitely not as good as the B, so it's going in the C pile. I know people might hate on me for that, but...
It's your ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I figured these would be the 2 biggest categories. It's got to be great to get in there, and it's got to be, you know, just not exactly what you expect it to be in here. And
I finished it, so I can't say it was a D ranking.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to have a D.
All right, we're down to the final 3. We have Skies of Arcadia. I went like that because I've played it a little bit.
Skies of Arcadia on the Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah.
This is my first... If I don't include Parasite Eve, this is my first turn-based RPG that I played. About 3 years ago, because we have a YouTube channel about gaming, so many people talk highly about RPGs. I was like, I have to make myself play through one.
because you kept saying I don't think I like RPGs.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, I've tried them and I just can't get into them. And anyway.
Clearly
that changed.
Yeah.
Skies of Arcadia, I loved this game. And this game is special to me because this is the first turn-based RPG that I played through.
I got you the GameCube one for Father's Day.
Yeah. I recommend it for you to play it.
Yes.
Like...
Fire consume my enemies! Lambda burst! that's how much I loved it.
Soundtrack is beautiful.
Oh my god!
So much so that you got me the
I
vinyl.
did. Yeah. And it comes in like a big box type version with an art book. It's so nice.
Animation ages beautifully.
Yes.
Why don't we have modern ports? Why can't we play this on a modern console yet?
Yes.
Why? Like this
it's
should
too
be
expensive on... It's so expensive.
It's an expensive game on the Dreamcast
and we would
and
love
the GameCube.
more people to be able to play it.
Beautiful game. I could talk forever about it, but it's going into the S right
Yes, it's so 100%. Good. It's so much. They packed so much into that game.
Like I told you, when I told you this, because that was your first RPG, was it not?
No.
Turn-based RPG?
But it was my first one I loved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So because Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I did really enjoy that, but when I played the 2, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
The only thing I told her is to make sure you read everything.
Yes, and I did.
Getting involved in this,
I even had another coworker checking up on me at work who had also played it. Are you reading it all?
Because you have to know the story and you have to be connected to the characters.
And
in an RPG.
I absolutely was. Yeah. It was wonderful. Yeah. And one of the most amazing RPGs.
It's a great experience. A
it
great
is.
Adventure game, right?
It is. It really, really is. Okay. Second last one. Suikoden. Not Suikoden. Suikoden.
I've been growled more than once on the pronunciation of this, but I'm going to blame other YouTubers. I've watched big channel YouTubers that keep calling it Suikoden. And then I have other people like growl me as soon as I make the mistake on camera, because I do make the mistake. It's Suikoden. I'm like, I know. I keep making the mistake. I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I wasn't crazy about the Civil War aspect of the stories.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy collecting all 108 characters.
Yeah. Heroes?
All the heroes. I think it's... Do they call them stars? I can't remember what they call them there.
Maybe.
Anyway, there's a lot of those. Like, you need a walkthrough. You need a guide, at least to tell you where to go and what you have to do to get it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that aspect of it all, that I played the whole thing through. I guess the second one's fantastic. I'm playing the second one this year.
Yes.
This is probably a B.
Yeah,
probably
it is. And everybody says the second's the best.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play it ever again, because there's other ones that are... I still have to play lots of games. And there's other games that I would definitely play a second time, third time, fourth time.
Yeah, and have.
Yep.
All right, very, 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 very last one. I already know what it is because I know what's missing on the table.
Yep, me too.
And it is Final Fantasy VII.
All right, this is where you guys are going to hate me.
But he played it on the Switch.
I played it on the Switch at the same time Jen played it on the PS1.
Yes.
We have two TVs set up. Switch is set up on the big 65-inch screen. Jen's set up on is it a 30
something, yeah.
32-inch CRT. And as I was playing it, I was looking at her playing it, and it's like, how's the PS1 version on the CRT look better than the Switch port? And it just terrible. I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy music in general, and I keep saying that. I have yet to find a Final Fantasy game that really hooks me, that I really love.
Yeah, I know.
I found the story was hard to follow.
I know. I feel the same way about Final Fantasy. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, Skies, you immediately connect with the story.
Yeah,
Lunar, you connect.
I just had a hard time. Maybe it was because I played it only maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm in my mid-40s. Maybe it was that. I don't know.
I will tell you, the remakes enhance the music, make the music better. I personally like the remakes better, but I played this in my 40s as well. So
bring on the hate, but it's a C.
Yeah. Well, there was no D rank games.
I wouldn't give anything a D ranking.
So that's
there. Yeah.
good at least.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now, which is going to hurt Scott's feelings, but he's going to do it. He's going to put them in order. So I will be able to list all 21 games.
Favorite at the top and work my way down.
So basically, you'll have a 1 to 21 of what your best and what your worst is. Or I wouldn't say worst. Just you didn't like them as much. You still
it's going by my enjoyment of the game that I played. The experience I had.
He'll get to do this on screen. We'll just fast forward.
Kung fu moves.
He'll do his kung fu moves. And at the end, I'll take my cell phone and pan over it all so you can see what his 1 through 20 is. So
21, isn't it?
21. I'm sorry. Good luck with that. You go now. You do
this
that
one's
now.
easy. There's only 3.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Any questions on how I rank these?
I was really shocked. Well, I wasn't shocked. You do like retro more than modern for the most part.
I don't know what it is with retro games, especially the RPG. Like they really know how to set the tone with music.
Yeah.
You really get into it, right?
But this list is all retro over modern. All retro over modern. Yeah. All the top ones are retro at the top.
Those the 3 top ones, I could have almost shuffled them any which way possible.
Yeah.
Any of those 3. Any of those 3, and I'm sure people will argue with that maybe...
Shock that Skies beat Parasite Eve. Because for the longest time, Parasite
Eve is an 8-hour game.
Yeah.
Skies of Arcadia was...
The fact that it's an 8-hour game and in the S rank says a lot about your nostalgia for it.
Yeah. It's all nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I just love the game. That thing got me hooked into it. Like, they're all S. They're 10 out of 10.
They're 10 out of 10.
For me, they're 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like, pick. But, yeah. Skies of Arcadia is very meaningful. Parasite Eve is very meaningful. And the 2 modern, like, Unicorn Overlord was fantastic.
Yeah.
Addictive. Maybe a couple years from now it might not shine as hard because it was just recently I did it. South Park Stick of Truth was fantastic.
Yeah. It was what you needed in your life at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't say anything about your ranking because it is your ranking, but I definitely understand from your point of view where everything goes.
Yeah.
Skies would be an S for me, probably too. Lunar might even be an S for me. Then again, I haven't played that many. I haven't played as many as you have.
Like it was... The S is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like in the Grandia and Lunar and Chrono Trigger, like in certain ways they're all 10 out of 10, but then like when you start comparing them to, like did Chrono Trigger hit me as hard as Skies of Arcadia?
No.
Probably not.
No.
You haven't played it yet. You need to.
No, I was Kadelka. I was thinking Kadelka,
like
but
Kadelka, yeah. Like Kadelka is like right there, neck and neck with Parasite Eve, and the same style of game and everything.
Yeah, but just
Parasite Eve just has that nostalgia.
Yeah. All right, guys, let us know what you think.
Tell me how I'm wrong. I know.
Yeah. more importantly, you're seeing what he's played now.
I would love more recommendations.
Yes, he would love because it's something you played a lot. You're still green in that category for what you're still missing that you should be.
You know my enjoyment, what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Top to bottom here, so.
Yeah, let us know. And oh my gosh, if you want to do a ranking and tag us in it and let us know you've done one, we would love to see it. So with that being said, that's Scott's ranking video done for now, and when he plays the next 20, we'll come back and do another.
3 more years, I'll do another.
Until next time, game on.